Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, and I'm Meghna Deka. Well, what's in a dress? Actually, quite a lot. The cut, the color, the couture, all of it matters. Every little stitch, every little thread. Not just these three C's, there's also culture. At times, it is used to represent one's culture, to represent even one's ideology. Yes, look at all these people on your screens. Trump, Modi, Zelenskyy. What do all of them have in common? Their power dressing. What they wear signifies what they stand for, where they come, and at times, in the case of Zelenskyy, for example, even where they are headed. Symbolism, after all, has always been very vital for the life of a politician, and this is not just India, across the world. They have also got the power to influence along with the speeches, the optics behind the dresses. In fact, look at these visuals. Prime Minister Modi, Narendra Modi, of course, had since becoming Prime Minister in 2014, has created his own signature style. It began with a humble Modi kurta, a short-sleeved kurta and a tight churidar that influenced people across the country and, of course, showcased India as well everywhere that he went. Then came the Modi jacket in vibrant colors of India again. Then came the coats, especially during foreign visits. There were headgears, there were shawls, while he was addressing people in different parts of India to represent diversity, but also to pay an homage to the culture and the people of these specific states that he was visiting. The idea is to be one of them by embracing their culture. You must be wondering, why are we discussing political fashion today? Well, because it is literally under the microscope. Here's why. And that's where we take you across to America. Melania Trump, the First Lady of the US, someone who's always known to make a statement with her style, turns heads yet again across the world at that. She attended Donald Trump's address to the first joint session of Congress after he took over, this at the US Capitol in a structured dark grey tweed suit by Dior. And what's interesting about this suit that you can see on your screens? Well, the price tag comes at a whopping 5.5 thousand crores. Essentially, it is close to, if you look at it in rupees, close to, roughly 4.78 lakh rupees. It's not the first time that she turned to a French luxury label for a political event. In fact, that has been her style statement. Dark, solid colors of power dressing. In fact, at the same event, and this is interesting, her husband, Donald Trump, the US president, he was seen sporting a dark purple tie, which was patterned instead of his usual bold red tie or a bold blue tie. You may be wondering what? Well, a lot of them have been speaking about it. In fact, in American politics, interestingly, purple is often seen as a blend of Republican red and Democratic blue, which signifies and symbolizes unity of the bipartisan system between the two parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. Get it? Red plus blue equals purple. Well, he did this, as per some of the style pundits, to send across a message of unity, to send across a message of cooperation. However, right after that, in that purple tie, he gave an address which had protests coming in. Demonstrations were happening. There were protesters who gathered across all 50 states to oppose Trump's policies and his words in the Congress. So that aside, there are times, of course, when optics clearly do not match the words. But coming back to the First Lady again, Melania Trump. Well, she is from Slovenia, as we all know, only the second immigrant to serve as the First Lady in history of the US, has mostly worn European labels during the first term, but is seen exploring other designers during the second term. And every color, every attire is very carefully chosen. In fact, look at Trump's inauguration. It drew a lot of attention of the netizens for its price, as well as that hat that you can see on your screens. Quite a breathtaking view, isn't it? Now, something very similar to this was on the American designer's website as well. It's priced roughly around $3,600 US. And then she made an appearance at the Capitol Hill in a menswear-inspired Ralph Lauren three-piece suit. Cut very clear, and this was power dressing, many of the people said, at its best. She was addressing a presser which was urging lawmakers to vote for a Take It Down Act bill that would make so-called revenge porn a federal crime. In fact, it was a serious business and the vibe was strictly very professional. Netizens were quick to compare this look of Melania Trump to the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy as well. Zelenskyy, who remember had ditched his suit yet again for his famous White House visit, where of course was that big blow up, as you can see, between those three men there. Netizens of course made a big deal about it as well. In fact, this was the first thing that Donald Trump said: "You're all dressed up today." The focus on his attire, however, didn't just end there. In fact, during the interaction with the press, as you all remember in a viral video that we've all seen, a journalist asked him, "When will you wear a suit?" Watch what he had to say.
Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, you have problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting the dignity of this office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe something like yours. Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know.
Yeah.
We will see. Maybe something cheaper than
Well, it didn't just end there. The Ukrainian government, in fact, and this was very interesting, many people said that Zelenskyy was humiliated by Trump and VD Vance. However, the Ukrainian government tried to give a positive spin to it and got T-shirts printed with a quote from Zelenskyy following his disastrous meeting with the US president. In fact, it was an official fundraising platform which was run by the Ukrainian government. They released merchandise with Zelenskyy's historic words: "I'll wear the costume," as you just heard, wear the costume when the war is over. And of course, on the flip side, it says it's time to end the war. So let's decode what political power dressing is all about. In fact, we have two people who understand all about the optics of what is being worn and the power of a visual over 1,000 words. Meghna Deka, celebrated fashion designer, joins us here on the show. Dr. Sanjana John is joining us as well, filmmaker and international fashion designer. I'm going to come across to you, Meghna, because it's very interesting. We've all been talking about, does the suit make the man or man make the suit? Where do you stand on that?
I stand with Zelenskyy on this, and I believe it's the man who makes the suit. And I agree, the suit has never been more significant. It's in fashion, on catwalks, on runways, so much so, like you shared the pictures of Melania in the Ralph Lauren suit. It is today back to the 90s, I would say, where power dressing or unisex clothing was very much in fashion. And even in the Oscars, I thought that the dig on Adam Sandler by the host, Conan O'Brien, was also post this memes which were going around about Zelenskyy and the journalist asking him why he is not wearing a suit. And also you can see it has made people, it went in favor, in my opinion, for Mr. Zelenskyy, because the empathy went with him. That why would a man who chooses to be the way he is not be comfortable representing himself, you know, in the language of formality or what is called professional etiquette in some places. You know, there are clubs where they don't allow you to walk into in jeans. Like there were times where you could buy yourself almost up to a $10,000 jeans, but you can't enter the club. You have to be wearing something formal or black trousers or something. So these rule books were written like long back, and we have sort of used them kind of to express sobriety, somberness, professionalism. So when otherwise they create a lot of dialogue. But I'm with Zelenskyy on this.
That's an interesting one. Meghna Deka, I'm going to be coming back to you because I also want your opinion on how Churchill to Zelenskyy, all of them have also used it to depict the times that they are living in. I'll just come back to that. But Dr. Sanjana John, I'm going to come to you because we've been discussing the color, the form, prints, or the lack of it. Can you tell us, what do these colors signify? What do these cuts signify? How much really is going to depend on the optics of it?
Well, personally, as we all know, power dressing is something very personalized. But along with that, when you have a situation or you are representing something far more powerful than the individual, then there's a lot more that is an underplay, like you just very aptly spoke about from Donald Trump's tie and the color and how the colors denoted how he was unifying both parties, you know, the Republican and the Democratic. Here, Zelenskyy chose to represent what he was standing for, his people. So as Meghna Deka very aptly highlighted, here we are. I think it's a personal choice, and the representation of what each person brings denotes not just an individual, but what they represent on the whole. And as we all see, this is a time when the leaders of the world are not just standing up there for a unified, a single purpose, but they're showing to the world, here we are, and we start showing the power of what you are wearing, and it's a subliminal message that is being relayed by what you wear. So I completely understand whether it's Melania, whether it's a leader, what you wear, it does not actually matter how expensive it is, but what you wear and the colors are very powerful in displaying and decoding the thought and the message.
Absolutely. Very nicely put. In fact, Reena, I'll take that point across with you. It's the suit which depicts something which is larger than the man and the woman who are actually wearing it, isn't it? Because we've seen Prime Minister Modi, for example, he also experiments a lot with Indian fabrics, Indian designers who feel that our art, our culture, our textiles are now being showcased at the international levels as well. That's very significant also for a nation to show we have an awakening, a renaissance, as we've been calling it, of our culture itself.
Yes, it's nice that our Prime Minister takes heritage seriously and has always worn on himself, especially in his public, in all his pictures or in all his photographs, he has come across as a very man with discipline, you know, who is crisp, who's neat, and also personifying the country or representing us by wearing bangalas, you know, kurtas, chudidar, which really was relegated into the men didn't wear it for a long time. So yes, he's a very well-dressed statesman of the world, and so much so that if I had to meet him recently, we were invited to a large gathering where he was to be addressing people, that it made me realize that if I have to meet him, I must pull out something formal, khadi, because I may get to interact with him. So yes, this is the effect of the role of a great leader, wherein it trickles down to society, and the whole there is a message in that, and their dressing up, whether important or not, is very significant. You do know of that meme, I'm sure you're in media, you must have seen it, where it went on in America, where it went, the man without the suit or the suit without the man. So I won't say that to be, I don't know if I'm being, I'm not one to judge here, but that was the meme going around.
Final comments. Who do you think really has aced the look game when it comes to politics? In India or abroad, anywhere you've worked, who really aced the game?
Hands down, I applaud our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, because one, he stands and represents a country, the largest democracy in the world, and he makes sure that we stand proud no matter where he goes. And again, I would go back to what Meghna Deka rightly highlighted. No matter what he wears it with class, elan, and above all, showing that we are proud of our culture and we stand strong as a nation wearing what we are. So be it our fabrics, be it our styles, be it our colors, here's a person, I think, all over the world who has shown the world how rich our culture and heritage can be through the dressing, but also in the statements he makes. And it's been, I think, applauded by people all over, not just for style, but for his, I would say, the aura and the presence of how he has presented our culture. I'm very proud of our Honorable Prime Minister and how he has represented our clothing.
Well, I believe we can conclude on those words. The fact that does a man make the suit, suit make the man? Well, at times, let's just accept it. The suit can be much bigger than even the person. It could be about the culture. It could be about the entire nation. What you wear is a representation of your very roots. And I think we can both agree, all three of us can agree on that. Thank you so much, Meghna Deka, for joining us here on the show. Dr. Sanjana John as well. On that note, a short break. Don't go anywhere.